What inspired you to come to INME and take the step towards your well-being? Okay, so when I arrived to INME and decided to come to the first retreat with INME, now I have been with INME for 3 retreats. I had already been to another retreat in a place that does plant medicine, and it's worldwide known. It's one of the most important retreat centers in the world. Nevertheless, I have stuck with INME after that experience, and that is because, well, firstly, it's close. The other retreat I went to was in Costa Rica, and the possibility to have plant medicine in Europe is huge. So I would have to travel less, and I would have to spend less for the traveling. And initially it was mainly because of this. It was the first reason that brought me to INME Wellness. Now, before choosing INME Wellness, I went through a lot of research. So I was looking for a place in Europe, but I wanted to make sure it was absolutely safe. When you do plant medicine, you'll end up in a very vulnerable place many times. And for me and for my past experiences that had been very negative with fake spiritual leaders, I wanted to make sure that I was in a very, very safe place. So I remember when I encountered INME Wellness, the ads on Instagram, I had a lot. I was very drawn to it, but I needed, for myself, I needed to make sure it was very safe. So I wrote to friends in that chat of that other retreat. We have a chat on WhatsApp, and I said, so do you think they're safe? And especially, it was about the Inga tribe, the Taita Luis and his group, and their ceremonies. And a friend that had a lot of experience with plant medicine wrote back and said, "Are you kidding me? I have had the most," she told me she has had the most amazing experiences with Taita Luis and all his group, Leo Cordero, Adam, Lindsay, Agustin. And so, you know what? That wasn't enough for me, because I didn't know if INME Wellness was actually calling them up, because I didn't know Inga Tribe at all. So I actually had them write to, this friend of mine wrote to Leo Cordero, and he said, yes, absolutely, we're with INME Wellness, and we will be there to do the ceremonies. So that got me convinced, and I went to the first retreat in October of last year, and then that just got me hooked up. And the reason why it got me hooked up, in a positive way, obviously, is that even though I felt safe because I knew I was in good hands, I still was scared. Plant medicine, from what I had seen on internet, on YouTube, can be a very, very challenging experience. And so every time I got into ceremony, I was scared. I was determined, because I had to solve some very deep and bad trauma I had from my childhood. But nevertheless, I was scared. But from the first night, right before taking the medicine, we usually gather in the Maloka, in the area where you do plant medicine, and Leo Cordero gave us a speech, and you get to meet all the staff, and you get to meet Taita, and I all of a sudden felt so safe with Taita Luis. His